this has been obviously incredibly stressful, intense situation, not to mention being one of the most shameful days in our country's history. But right now we're all we're in locations that are secure. We are waiting. We felt like the Capitol was, checked out, but I just got a notice that there's still a little threat update. So we're just holding still, waiting for clearance. We were expecting to be back into session to start to resume the electoral count at 8 p.m. And there's a curfew here. Riot police are out blocking the Trump from retaking the Capitol, and just hoping that it doesn't turn to violence.
Absolutely, and that's certainly the hope. And of course, this is all, surrounding the, certification of the 2020 election. Tell me, just starting off today, I don't know if anyone really knew which direction this would go, but, folks were preparing for the possibility for protest. Can you just run me through, as in-depth as you can just go into it, just about the day, how did it start off? When did you have to, go into lockdown yourself? Just tell me kind of how the day progressed.
Yeah, so listen, I think this is our worst fear come true. I think that, we all understood that there were going to be protests. There was a fear that they could become violent. And so we took an abundance of caution. Normally I ride my bike or walk to work. I was driven by one of my staff members and parked in very early in the morning with the intention that I was going to stay here all day into the wee hours of the evening, because we were expecting up to 6 objections to the electoral counts from 6 different states, including Nevada. So I was in my office preparing my comments and my speech to defend our free and fair election that was defended 7 times in court in the state itself. But so anyway, we were in our office getting ready to do that. We were requested to remain in our office unless we were supposed to be on the floor speaking. So I had stayed here and I was watching the proceedings on C-SPAN when I saw, sort of what was happening outside, and Senator Langford was speaking. It was Arizona. Their votes were being objected to and they were debating. And that's when we saw the first breach. And then we were immediately put on lockdown. And by the way, we were evacuated prior to that because there was a suspicious package found nearby. So we were on heightened alert from the very beginning in the morning. And then when you saw that breach, it was obviously much more than we anticipated would be happening. And we were relocated. We were evacuated and relocated. And we have spent the entire day in close contact with the Capitol Police, who have been, keeping us safe and trying to get the, we've been in a lockdown in the Capitol and just trying to secure the grounds.
Absolutely.
As you know, there's a beat right now. So,
absolutely. And Congresswoman, are you inside the Capitol, or did they evacuate you elsewhere?
No, I'm inside the complex. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And just tell me, did you, we saw some reports on Twitter, some folks were, posting those, horrifying images of, some of the folks, had their guns drawn at the door and protesters are trying to get inside. Did you hear anything? Could you hear any sort of a commotion or anything like that from where you are?
No, I'm far. My office is far from the Capitol, from the House of Representatives. So I didn't hear any of that other than what I was seeing transpire on TV.
Absolutely. And it's certainly frightening. I mean, this has been going on for hours and hours and hours. Any, fear on your end of what's been going on? Obviously, we know security is tight there, but, what's been going through your head just all day watching this kind of unfold on TV?
Well, listen, I'm a mother too, and obviously you want to make sure you're safe. But more importantly to me, I think, it's really about what I'm here to do, which is to uphold the Constitution of this country. And I find that what happened today was horrific. And, I believe that President Trump and other public officials, most notably Louis Gohmert, their rhetoric and their conspiracy peddling has just added gasoline to this fire for months. And to me, this is just sort of the fruit of that labor. And, I'm more determined than ever to make sure that we stay here and get this election certified. And on January 20th, we swear in Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as our next president and vice president of the United States.
Absolutely. And of course, Congressman, we know all of the hard work you've been doing, on our behalf, 2,000 miles away in the nation's capital. And you had tweeted that you said this was more than protesting, it was more than rioting, and it was violent extremism. To see this kind of attack, and that's the way a lot of people have, labeled as an attack on our democracy. What is it like seeing this unfold? I mean, you're in, our nation's capital every day, fighting for our state and, for rights and things like that. To see this unfold, it certainly feels unprecedented. How does it feel to be, in D.C. at a time like this when something like this is unfolding?
Well, listen, my first term in office started in an unprecedented manner. I got sworn in during a government shutdown. We went through an impeachment inquiry and dealt with a global pandemic. It seems that right now this is sort of par for the course, I guess. But listen, this was to me a pathetic insurrection that failed. And, I look at what is happening across this country with the economic devastation that has been caused by this pandemic. Our economy in Nevada has just been ravaged, and I went into this day really incredibly frustrated because just in Nevada alone, listen, we have a two-party system. You get winners and losers. We have a system for remedying, for protesting in our courts, results of elections that you think might not have been fair. And we went through that process in Nevada, as did across this country. And again, those claims were thrown out as having no basis in reality, in fact, and evidence. And so to me, coming into today, knowing that across this country we're having major problems in rolling out this vaccine, that, Mitch McConnell blocked the $2,000 checks, stimulus checks that would have been so important to people who were without aid for 9 months because we weren't able to get a package passed. So, in knowing that these challenges to our free and fair elections and our peaceful transfer of power, that this was a fool's errand. I mean, we knew that, there were going to be objections and are going to be objections, but they weren't going to be successful. And I was frustrated because I thought we could be spending our time working on things that actually help the American people. And to me, this was an attack on our democracy. It was aimed at the, we are a country of the people, by the people, for the people. Our ability to vote, and in Nevada we had record turnout of first-time voters, and to see this under attack and then to evolve in this type of violence, to me, is a dangerous day for our country, and we have a lot of healing to do.
Absolutely. Well put. And last question, Congresswoman. I know you're going to return to the Capitol tonight to kind of continue what started today, earlier today. What do you envision here happening? What's going to happen tonight? What do you see happening, over the rest of the week here?
Well, listen, my hope is that maybe some Republicans who were hell-bent on objecting to the electoral count may change their mind as a result of this and just see how incredibly dangerous it was. And hopefully, I would love to see it be what this really should. Normally, when the electoral votes are counted and certified in Congress, it's sort of a mundane exercise, right? It's very ceremonial, and that's what it should be. And so my hope is that maybe that's what it will become. But more importantly, we're going to do exactly what we came here to do, which was to defend our Constitution and defend our elections. And my colleagues, Dina Titus and Stephen Horsford and I, as well as Jackie Rosen and Catherine Cortez Masto, are prepared to fight to defend Nevada's election should our electoral vote count be called or be objected to.